The Legend of Masaraga. Mount Masaraga is located between Polangui and Legend, with some of its outskirts extending towards Oas. It is only fitting to recount the narrative of this oldest of all mountains in the province of Albay. In ancient times, there was a chief of a tribe who resided in a field near the forest with his wife. They had a daughter who loved playing on the ground and caring for plants and flowers. When she wanted to play, she preferred to go downstairs. "What are you doing?" her parents would inquire. And she would respond, "Masaraga," which literally meant to the earth, and therefore she was named Masaraga. She spent the most of her growing years tending to plants and cultivating the soil. She would later, as she grew older, venture into the woods and deep into the woodlands. She noticed a white deer on top of the hill one day. She climbed higher for a better view. But she was irresponsible and fell. She awoke inside a cave and was attended to by a man with pale complexion. His name was Amugis, and he claimed that Tagaltawan was his father's name. Tagaltawan is also the name of a bird that can sprint on top of the waves, dive into the sea to capture fish, and fly far over the forest. Masaraga learned how to climb hills and cliffs from Amugis. He recognized numerous plants and trees that were utilized for medication as well as those that were harmful for her. "Their herbs yield magical saps," he said. "The Tagulapod will make you invisible. The Tagalmay is a charm that would deprive man of willpower. There are others, but they could be dangerous for anyone who is untrained to handle such potions." Masaraga's father declared that she was ready to marry. When she reached the age of consent, the news reached the Cabatuan tribe, which lives between Mount Iriga and the shores of Lake Bui. This made its chief, Banog, exceedingly happy because he had heard about Masaraga's beauty and skills. Banog was an extremely powerful man. Some claim that Oriol, the half-woman, half-serpent daughter of Aswang, the malevolent god who lived in Gagamban, raised Banog. Banog went to Ras and requested Masaraga's hands. But she stated that it was not yet time for her to make a decision. Masaraga was already in love with Amugis, unknown to them. Banog stated that he could not wait any longer. Banog, aware of his powers, gave Masaraga only until the following full moon, or he would use whatever means possible to ensure that Masaraga became his wife. Masaraga informed Amugis of the threat posed by Banog. "No one can hurt you while I am alive," Amugis remarked. Amugis went out and harvested tagaling plants, whose mystical sap would allow a man to transform into a deer or a bird and fly. It was one of the things Tagaltawan had taught him. Masaraga revealed her engagement to Amugis on the full moon. Banog initially went red with rage, then transformed into a large black bird that carried Masaraga off her feet and flew into the sky. Amugis was prepared for it. He transformed into a white bird with the power of the Tagahalan and pursued Banog, who soared towards Mount Iriga. Amugis apprehended Banog before he could reach the northern shores of Lake Bui. Banog strangled Masaraga and let her fall to the ground. As he tried to grab her, Amugis dove to catch Masaraga, but Banog caught him and broke his wings. Amugis transformed himself into a tree, planted his roots firmly on the earth, and seized Masaraga with his thick branches to hasten his fall. But she wasn't breathing anymore. She perished as a result of the fall. Tagaltawan emerged and caught Banog as he crossed the Bui Lake, just as he was about to flee. Banog's wings were clipped by Tagaltawan, who drowned him in the lake. According to some legends, Tagaltawan was so powerful because he was the deity of the forest, Oko, who frequently disguised himself as a man, a bird, or any other woodland creature. Masaraga was buried where she fell by Amugis. Amugis stayed a tree to protect her tomb from the sun's rays, rain, and fog. The mound grew larger and taller over time, eventually becoming a mountain. The Amugis trees began to thrive on her slopes and quickly spread to the surroundings. Masaraga is one of Albay's 3 major mountains. They believed that the Amugis trees that grew at the foot of the mountain were the progeny of the lovers, who were forever together in the other world. Amugis is a barangay in the town of Polangui. called after a kind of tree with the scientific name Koordersiodendron Pinnatum.
Let's go!